Oh, hey guys and girls, welcome back to another video channel of mine. I just want to do a quick video, right? And this is on the Brexit, to do with the European Union or EU or whatever it is. I don't really watch it very much, but I get where we're coming from. And I don't think the people in the other countries or Europe get to that point what England really wants. And I hear other people mentioning about migrants, about the immigration. I hear it all from both sides. I understand from both sides. But there's just, I want Jeremy Corbyn in, right? And I want him to stay in because I think, to be honest, he would be able to help with the immigration side of things. The Scottish people, they kind of think to themselves that we can handle all these migrants to come into the country, but yet, like he said the other day, this the one from Scotland, the MP one, I'm not too sure what his name was, but he was on about that we should be taking the migrants into the country. But if you think about it, although we're taking migrants into the country, right? Now bear with me, I'm not racist at all, I'm not racist, so I love people from all walks of life, and I love everything about every culture and all the religions and all stuff, so I get where you're all coming from. But if you think about it, to the point where migration is getting so high on the top of the table, right? We're getting all the migrants into the country. I don't like calling them immigrants because I find it's really bad. I think it's a bad verb, to be honest, like a bad name for it. I find migrants would be a less harsh term word for them, but if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get to is England, right, is a small island, right? So we cannot sustain all the migrants from every continent, from Poland, from Iran, Iraq, from Turkey, from Syria, and so on and so on and so on, right? We're just a small island. So we've got to try and think to ourselves as UK people, not just as UK people, but other people from other countries. Like, say people from Turkey, right? Or, actually, is a better one, from Spain. Now, we get people coming into our country, right? And then what we do, we have to put up a bed for them. We've got to give them somewhere to lie, somewhere to sleep, something to eat and all that. So that money is going to help them, for the migrants. And to the point where migrants, okay, they need a job, they need somewhere to sleep, they need some food to eat, they need to bring their families in, but there needs to be a limit to how many we can actually take. They think 120,000 migrants to come into the country is not enough, so they end up having another 230,000 or whatever within the next 20 years or some shit, or the or 2020 or something, 2020. And I think, to be honest, if you're going to do like that, then how come other countries are not helping at hand here? How come they're not helping hand? We see other countries, we see Scotland saying about England taking migrants in, but I hardly see Scotland taking as many immigrants, or migrants I should say, sorry about that, but migrants into the country to the point where it's the same amount. It's like Germany, it's like other places. They expect us right? Because we're kind-hearted and like we bring everybody in from other countries. Now that we're out of the EU and England's on our own, right? Or we're the Brits who are all on our own, right? They think it's going to be a tough time. To be honest, I don't think they should close off the borders. I do not think they should close off the borders at all. I think, to be honest, they need just to state the obvious to them and just say, no, we cannot bring you anymore in. Only if they got kids. I mean, it's understanding if they got kids and that. I mean, you can't leave kids to defend for themselves. But I think, to be honest, there needs to be another way around it. If we can't take them, then other countries should be able to take them and not land it on us all the time. I know they come to England, a lot of the migrants come to England because it's supposed to be a better life for them. But how come Germany's not a good place for them? Or Poland, or France, or any other place? It seems they all want to come to the UK. I mean, I don't mind them coming, but there's other people out there that our country, right, needs help first. We need to help our own people. I'm not being mean or anything, but we do need to help our own people out. And if we can't help our people, then how we expect to help other people from other countries? I mean, if you think about it, how many houses we get built up? Probably that 200-300 houses, probably every couple months or some shit. Or every couple of years we get like 200 houses put up, and then we have to get the money, we have to find the money for that, so we have to take it out of the National Health Service. So if we're taking it out of the National Health Service, well, where is the National Health Service like going to be in another 20 years? I mean, I can see it now. I think what they should be doing, what UK should be doing, is, well, on the National Health Service, we should be paying for the National Health Service. We shouldn't be getting it for free. I know there's people out there who wants it for free. But the thing is, because the doctors are working and the nurses are working day and night, night and day, even on weekends now, just so they can help people and all that. It's not fair on them, because they're not getting all the rest, and they're getting tired, and then they're making mistakes. And I think it's to the point where, in a way, it would be a good idea for UK to start paying into the National Health Service. Not getting it free off the National Health Service that way, just do it for free. But if you're doing it, well, I mean, if you're doing it for free, then there's no money coming involved, and people are getting away scot-free. I mean, I noticed I've seen, like, I'm watching programs on TV where people pretending they got bad backs and all that, or bad heart troubles, or some heart condition, or some health conditioning, and then they end up to the point where they pretend they're ill when they're not. They get sick notes off the doctors, and then they get these free prescriptions. Then people get free cars. Then people get free fucking everything. And I don't think it's fair on the disabled people, because the disabled people are getting dragged in here. I like myself and other disabled people are getting dragged to the point of where it's like not voided. We're not voidable. You get to the point where we get dragged in for no reason. We get blamed for anything and say, oh, this person here who's disabled, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. But yet, the one down the road, right, there's nothing wrong with that person down the road. But yet, the one who's got the problems ends up getting fucked over. And it kind of really makes me sad to think we're living in a sort of a democracy in our state where the rich always prevails over the poor people, and I think it's absolutely fucking sick, to be honest. I mean, I see it like, okay, I really want, right, and I'm going to tell you guys, yeah, about Jeremy Corbyn. I think he's one heck of a guy. I think he wants to help the disabled people. He wants to help with migration and all this. And I think, to be honest, people are not giving him the time of day at all. And why they're not giving him the time of day? Because those people who are trying to say they're backing him, but they're not backing him, right? It's to the point where how much is too much and how much is too little. And I think to myself, if you're going to think it that way... Oh, shit. Right, I'm dropping my phone here. Right, if you're going to think it that way, right, I think, to be honest, there's too much corruption in the government. And if you think about it, the government has a certain amount where they say, right, we're going to help the disabled people, or we're not going to help the disabled people. Now, like the Conservative Party, I bet there's a lot of fucking corrupted fucking officials in there. Why is there a lot of corrupted officials? Because, to be honest, they're all out for themselves. And I find that, to be honest, like, Jeremy Corbyn was in the Houses of Parliament the other day, and he was having a go at David Cameron, and he was asking David Cameron, oh, and when, as you're leaving, right, are you going to, like, remove the bedroom tax before you go, and that before you leave? Now, the thing is, he won't, because he's a dodgy bastard. I mean, even this one bloke, who was an MP, came into the Houses of Parliament, and he said to David Cameron, your name is Dodgy Dave. And he called him Dodgy Dave. And to be honest, the one bloke, that old bloke, he got thrown out. And I don't think, to be honest, I think we should be living in a place where we should have freedom of speech. And, I mean, if you're going to call someone Dodgy Dave or something, right, and you've got it, yes, okay, you've got a backup of it, because we all know old Dave is so dodgy and all that anyway. Obviously, you can sit in his fucking face, to be honest. And if you think about it, why he doesn't want to get rid of the bedroom tax. Now, he says it's not a tax. Okay, so if it's not a tax, then how come it's called the bedroom tax? Now, the bedroom tax, it sucks, right? How this bedroom tax works is, if you've got a spare bedroom in the UK, right? If you've got, say, a two-bedroom house or a three-bedroom house, right? And you've got, say, you're living on your own, right? And you've got a spare bedroom. You have got to pay, I think, £14.40 extra for the empty room that no one's living in. Which actually seems a bit fucking dodgy, to be honest. Because if someone's living in that bedroom, right, okay, you can pay for it. But why fucking pay £14.40 of bedroom tax for a room that's not even been lived in, right? And then old people, old pensioners and disabled people get thrown out of the houses because they can't afford £14.40p or £28.80, right? To the point where they get thrown out. They can either pay their bills, pay the bedroom tax, or they got to put food on the table. Now, for their kids. Now, what would you choose? Would you choose to pay the £14.40 for the bedroom tax? Or would you get kicked out your house and just feed your children? I mean, it's very obvious, isn't it? It's very obvious. But, yeah, it's kind of fucking... It just really makes me unhappy to be in the EU in the first place. Because I've noticed when we are in the EU... You get to that point where, is it necessary to be in the EU? No, it don't. To be honest, we get bossed around a lot. I mean, it's like this, like recycling. They've said I think they said like by 2025 or 2017 or something, 2018, they want at least 70 to 90% of rubbish recycled. Now, okay, that can happen. Alright, and I'm not arguing with that. But half of the recycling, right, doesn't even get recycled every week. To be honest, we should be getting wheelie bins done every week, not twice every 2 weeks, not every fortnightly. That really pisses me right off. And like, we should be, instead of just having wheelie bins, why can't you just stick out rubbish bags? I mean, it's just fucking just ridiculous. And then if you wanted to, why don't you just charge for the bloody black bags? If you've got black bags outside and just put them out there, right, you put like a little tip down there and they take them off and that. And yeah, it would be just a lot easier than what it has been done. But anyway, with this George, almost said George. Also, yeah, what I wanted to explain as well. You've got this bloke as well, who's in Parliament. I forgot what his name is now. But he stabbed Boris Johnson in the fucking back. And to be honest, he wants to be the Prime Minister, right? He wants to be the Prime Minister of England. And to be honest, if you think about it, the guy who stabbed Boris Johnson in, who's the, was the, what would they actually call him? Well, let's just say he's an MP now in a way. Well, he was an MP anyway, but he had more of this talk on it. But Boris Johnson, he was like David Cameron, a conservative, but he's had problems with him. He wanted to take over his job and all that. Anyway, Boris Johnson, right? He got to that point where he was very looking forward to it. I was hoping for him to win actually, because he was the kind of guy that you would want in Parliament. A funny guy, goes around bloody tackling kids to the ground. I mean, what else would you want? And makes a mockery of himself. Goes out on his bicycle, goes cycling every day and all that. And suddenly, his friend, who he's been Michael Gosh, is it? I think, is it Michael Gosh? Or someone like that, is some weird name, not Michael Gosh, no, some weird name anyway. But I don't want him in as the Prime Minister of England, or Theresa May. Theresa May, she's more of a, like, Margaret Thatcher. If she gets in, all the working men, the ones who are working day in, day out, and are providing food for the table for their families, are going to get screwed over by her. She's just making it look... she's talking to try and get people to hear, trying to get people involved, and I think, to be honest, she's going down to the path where she wants people to hear what they think, what she thinks they want to hear. And then people are going to believe it, and then people are going to get screwed over by her. The working class people are going to lose all their jobs, and it's going to be worse than like the 80s, like of the coal miners and all that, when you had Margaret Thatcher around, where she fucked up that country of ours back then. I mean, I wasn't born in I was born in 87, but I wasn't around right before then, the early 80s and that, when you had the coal mines and all that. But I do feel for people when it happens to them, where people are getting screwed over, they're losing jobs. I mean, it's like British Home Stores, for instance, that's getting closed down. Think how many people are going to lose their jobs over there because they worked in there for so many years, and suddenly they get closed off. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm talking too fast, guys and girls, but it's just, to be honest, this world, well, our country is getting into much debates about everything. It's not just debates on one thing, it's not debates on another thing, it's debates on everything that surrounds political debate.